Okay. Okay. Hello. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another live stream, which we have previously we have discussed a lot about the market, and we had done a lot of technical analysis on the live chart. Good evening to all the comers. I hope many others are also joining, not just my team. Yeah. Right. So what we are going to do today is we are going to keep it very simple, and supposedly it is supposed to be a very exciting journey of learning today, because it is one of my favorite topics through which I personally trade, and through which I basically uh, dwell my own understanding of the markets. It is very much linked to. Hi, hello everyone. Welcome. So it is very much linked to the trading style of Japanese people. Apart from that, it is also very closely linked to the mass psychology, the buyers and sellers psychology, the dynamics of demand and supply, through a very effective method called candlestick patterns or candlestick chart patterns. uh, we will kind of disclose every information there is to be disclosed about this particular setup of trading, and it is in itself a very effective method to trade, and we are going to see how we can do that. But before that, I suppose we should join up, and we should see a small thing of what is going in the live market, and let's just see how the live market is actually acting up, right? So we will go to a lot of charts, and we will see what is the current situation in the market. Okay, so I suppose everyone is able to see this chart. Hi everyone. I suppose more than our team members are going to join today. Probably this is going to be a very exciting learning for today. Very exciting, and you will be amazed to know after this session. I'm pretty sure that you will be amazed to look at the candlestick chart patterns in a newer method. I will try my best to teach you guys in the most effective manner. So is this chart visible? Everyone can just put a thumbs up if it is visible. Is it visible? I suppose it is, because it is visible on my screen. Just put a thumbs up if it is visible. Nice. Okay. So, what the live market is currently is that a lot of things are happening. Previously, also, we discussed all these options that such things are going to happen in the market. And we discussed about USD JPY, the trend line was broken. And we discussed how the trend line has been breached, and then it is going to go down and make a U-turn, pull back, and then it is going to go further back down. But this is how powerful this method of technical analysis is. And to be honest, if you're a trader, a personal trader, then this is the kind of arrow that I made that day. This is the kind of path I made that day. If you remember, or if you don't remember, you can just go to our library of market insights, and you can see this was the exact moment that I drew. that day. And I told you that this was the breakout, this was the breakdown from this trend line. It is a very strong breakdown, and we saw a good amount of challenge to the price action and good amount of resistance at this level, which was previously basing candles here. It is a very very good opportunity to first learn and then earn, right? So this is the way we move in the market, this is the way we predict the market, and this is what happens now. Currently it is in a choppy session, and intraday is still possible in this if we go to a shorter time frame, say for example an hourly time frame. Okay, so this is these are the levels which are based on basically this Fibonacci retracement, which is an advanced concept of drawing supply and resistance lines. And what I've done here is I've just drawn these lines, and let's see if the price action is also respecting these lines. And is if you see how well it is respecting the lines, if you see the price action is just stopping at this resistance level of say 0.764, then it is retracing back up and then coming back down, and almost here, almost in this range, it has stopped moving down. Again it moved up, then took a support directly at this line. Isn't it wonderful? Isn't it amazing? If you draw all these lines, can't you be a more better trader? Isn't it? Won't your quality of trading improve? Like, right? So it is outstanding the way. And look at this, how precise technical analysis can be. Look at this candle and look at the high of this candle, how precise it is. The 78.6 is a very important retracement level in Fibonacci retracement, and the price here is Fibonacci is 137.463. Let's see the high. Look at the high at this of this candle, one hourly candle, 137.462. Isn't it just a fractional, like 1/10 of a pip? It's how precise this is, and this is outstanding. I also do this, and I also did a lot of good things here. Right, another this line I suppose is the trend line from which it got breached. This is this blue line. I will just strengthen this line up to change the color so that you can see it properly. This was the trend line, and then it got breached at this level, right? Just look at this. This was the breaching point, and after this very strong bearish candle, the price tried to consolidate, tried to move back up, tried to take a breather. But the selling was so good that another bearish candle we saw on 28th July. And this is the way the market moves, and this is the way it happens. Everything happens with a proper logic, with a proper yes, welcome everyone. So this is the way the market functions, to be honest. And if you are aware of these things, this is a piece of cake. But I won't term it as a piece of cake because it requires a lot of diligence. It requires a lot of experience with things, right? Although, yeah. So the thing is, look at this again. How precise this level can be. 23.6, another important level in Fibonacci retracement. 132.514, look at this beautiful line. Just look at the low here. This is the red candle, look at the low. 132.500, isn't it? 132.500. What was the here? 514, right? So 1.4 pips difference in this. So how precise this is, only 1.4 pips, and is giving us a proper definition of what is going to happen in the market. Today we are not going to learn about Fibonacci retracement, very obviously, but we are going to learn something about what is called a beautiful Japanese candlestick. Right now, remember this picture that I showed you right here. Remember this picture, okay? This candle, right? Now, many of you might have heard of these candles. Many of you might have learned about these candles, but you will today see a new way of looking at these candles and understanding these candles. At least three or more confirmations before taking a entry. Mhm. Okay. Three or more confirmations, we are talking about supports and resistance here. Okay, we are talking about the breakdown that happened on this particular day of 28th July. In the previous video, I had told you that if it breaks down from here, which was a higher possibility, it would just go down and it would retrace somewhat to these levels and then it would come back down. So that's what exactly happened in the market. If you see the daily time frame, you'll get to know that path that I drew was exactly the way the market has functioned. How it has happened, I am also shocked. No, no, no. It was actually based on a very understandable thing because a lot of fundamental factors are also calculated in, and I counted for that factors, and I knew that somewhere the uptrend which was so steep till now. Look at the uptrend of USD JPY. The uptrend was so steep, very fast uptrend. It had to take a breather, right? It had to stop. It had to, stop running, right? So this is what happens when somebody stops running. It breaks down, it stops somewhere, and then it takes a breather. It is what is going on in the USD JPY, right? Another important long-term projection has been made for Euro USD, right? And this is somewhat I have done again. I am a very busy person. I always draw all these things. So again, a very important long-term projection has been made in Euro USD. Is that the euro is was going up, to be honest. So if I just draw that back, yeah. So the euro was pumping up again after it reached the parity. This level was also discussed by me in one of the live stream, completely dedicated to the euro USD, and we found out that this parity we will go up and we will probably come down because there is not much strength in the euro. Okay, for now, and there is a lot of problem going on in the European market. First of all, the energy crisis we discussed, and another important factors is the political instability also is there, right? And apart from that, not only the European factors but also the American factors are working, right? The American economy has proven to be very strong, to be very honest. It was it was not suggested, it was not understood that America is going to be very strong, especially the labor market. And the way it has turned out is a big nightmare for the European markets, right? So it went to the parity. It is now again going down. Now, if you see these levels, these are basically channel levels only. So it is again very much, I would say, vaguely these are. If we go to the lower time frame, we will see that vaguely these are the price movement is following these levels. Okay, so you can use this support and resistance levels in order to trade. Okay. So this is what the case is with Euro USD, USD JPY. I doubt that Euro USD is going to pump up again because data is also inbound. Housing starts, building permits, etc., 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 is going to come. The housing market was not as good accordingly of the American market, but the consumption sector has not really slowed down. Okay, despite the rate hikes and stuff like that, the consumption is still going on strong because of the labor market, because of the good employment numbers, right? And people are still waiting for a clear confirmation on what is the position on inflation. And as inflation we are talking about, a lot of factors worked in when we were talking about PPI data also came in. I suppose I don't uh, remember exactly. Let's just see. So yeah, CPI data came in and it was not good enough. It was zero, right? That means the price of the commodities is not increasing nor it is decreasing, right? And core CPI was also the same because of the crude oil, right? Because the crude oil prices are stabilizing, they are going down, and that is why the CPI is also kind of stabilizing. It is not completely stabilized, very to be very honest, but we are there somewhere, right? We have made some progress. After that, PPI data has come in, and PPI is like negative, right? So PPI basically suggests in leading indicators of the consumer inflation. So when producers charge basically get goods for a higher premium price, then they pass that premium price to the consumers. That's what happens. And PPI data is also kind of not very healthy, but we can see some changes. Okay, but the good thing about European, sorry, American market is that we are working, we are actually having something. Okay, so we have something to work with, and we probably will uh, set something in this particular market. We can do something in this particular market. We can look for shorting opportunities. Okay, so whenever there is a breakout, you will see that there is a consolidation, and then there is a breakout. So whenever you see a consolidation, like here also, there is a breakdown, sorry. So you can short at that place. Keep the target for the lower level or probably higher than that, so that you can cover your position and trail stop loss accordingly. Again, it went up, your stop loss might have got hit, right? But if you trail stop loss, it will come down and you will end your trade in a profit instead of a loss. Again, the price moved up. Now what I'm saying is, don't long while this is the price is moving up. In a downtrending channel, you cannot long. Although there are people who long, who love risk, but I would not suggest it to you guys, right? I I want the best for you, isn't it? So I don't I don't feel like that something is going to happen in this particular position. So SNR okay, somebody's making notes right in the comment box. Acha, nice. Okay, great. So this is the position. If somebody wants anything else, acha, last to go with is gold market. Gold is outstanding, and what to say, you can always trade in gold any day. Okay, to so we have to go with this particular thing again. Fibonacci, this is a trend, downtrending channel only. We supposed that this was a breakout. Let's just delete this. I also thought that this was a breakout, but the price action suggests something else, right? It has not actually broken out, and it has completely respected the channel. How well it has respected the channel is beyond belief, right? It is beyond belief, and it is just lovely how the price has just touched the upper band of this particular channel. Now what can be done in this situation is that, what this particular analysis says is it is going to go down, right? This, now remember my words, okay? Only this particular analysis says that the price may go down, right? Like this. Okay, now why this particular line? Because this is the, okay, this is the middle band. Okay, middle band also acts as a support. If the price is below it, this acts as a resistance. If it is above it, it acts as a support. So it might go all the way till there. Every single day you get your below target as this 17, 20, 19, and it goes on depleting. Okay, decreasing. So this is the way the gold market is functioning. Just on the basis of the parallel channel and how it has respected, it might go down, right? But based on other technical indicators, based on other confirmations, you might see something else. Okay, so I'm not completely rejecting that theory, but there is a very high probability that it is going to go down, isn't it? So this is what has happened in gold in the previous sessions. So as we are done with this, we will just close up and start with our actual learning. Okay, let's just see this thing and start it. Yes, please give me a thumbs up if you can see the screen. Hello, is everyone actually active? Be very active in this session. Okay, Just put a thumbs up if you can see the screen, if you can see the presentation. Okay, be active, yeah. Be excited that you're going to learn so much, of value of worth today, so that we can work in a dynamic, position. I suppose everybody is able to see this. I'm just assuming that. If anybody has any doubts, please post it on the comments, isn't it? Yes, we can see. Thank you very much. Yeah, thank you very much. So, what we are supposed to do is we are going to start this presentation by your humble analyst, Mohammad Abutara. And today's agenda, we did the live market discussion of gold, USD, JPY, Euro USD. There's also data in the Canadian dollar, the loonie, but we are not taking that for some time because the this discussion itself is going to take a lot of time. So the next thing that we are going to cover is candlestick meaning and interpretation, which is a very, very deep concept, and people can learn about candlesticks every single day, and yet there's something left to learn, right? Just a small, very candlestick, very, very simple looking thing can be so much complex. You won't even, gauge that. You cannot even measure it. Another important, one of my favorite persons is Muhammad, what he actually did, who he was. Many people don't even know his name. Okay, those who teach candlestick patterns, they also don't know his name. So that is a shame, to be honest. But we are going to give him some credit as he's an outstanding person, and I would like to tell you one of his anecdotes. And then as he talked about Japanese patterns, which is very important in before starting to learn about Japanese candlestick patterns. Okay, this is very important to understand the types. What exactly are the types of Japanese candlestick pattern? That is very important. Another, we will try to spot some examples in the live market. Okay, and how to trade using candlestick patterns. That is going to be very obvious during the discussion itself. I'm going to tell you how to trade. So examples in live market, I will require a lot more excitement, a lot more participation from your side, because this is a very dynamic concept itself. So I would want you also to be dynamic with it. Okay. So the first thing is candlesticks relevance. So candlesticks are very beautiful things. Okay. And to be honest, why it is beautiful, why it is very much amazing, such a concept is so much amazing, because it shows us, sorry, because it shows us the mass psychology behind the movement of a price action. How it is, sir? How, what is the mass psychology? Mass psychology is what the people are thinking. Looking at the chart, you are also looking at the chart. Thousand other are also looking at the same chart. What they are thinking, right? Whether they are thinking to sell, whether they are going to buy, what is the demand and supply dynamics? These are the only two things which are constantly colliding in the market, and that is why the market is moving, right? So candlesticks show that collision. It shows that interaction between the demand and supply, right? And it is beautiful. I will show you what it basically means, right, in very simple terms. So if you see this particular example, we have got multiple candlesticks here. So you see, this is a wick, this is the real body, this small body is a real body, and then this is a lower wick. This is called a lower wick, this is called a wick or shadow, or we also call it as tail. Okay, so these are the things. Now this whole thing, high to low, this high to low, this candlestick, if you are looking at my cursor, you will get it properly. This high to low is called a trading range. Okay, remember this. This is the range through which the price moved, right? And this open to close. Now, open was here because this is a red candle. Open was higher, and the close was here, isn't it? So the open and close was this. This is a red candle. The real body signifies what? The trading movement, right? Now you go to a place. Say for example, I am going to. Say for example, I'm going to take any example. So if I'm going from Mumbai to Delhi, right? If I'm going from Mumbai to Delhi, so if I'm going directly to Delhi without any stops, without any movement, So that will be the trading range is equivalent to the trading movement, right? A straight line between them. But what if I'm going to Kashmir first, then Kanyakumari, then next, and then to the Delhi? You understanding what I'm saying? I went to a higher place, a high price, then I went to a lower price, and then I closed somewhere else. This is the movement, actual movement, where I ended up. So the closing price is where the price ended up, isn't it? So that is the difference between trading range and, wait a second, let me just see your comments if any. No comments at all. Okay. So this is the process, right? This is the understanding of the candlestick. The trading movement might not be equivalent to the trading range. Trading movement is very small. That means what? That means this movement has not been very great. We haven't gone to from Mumbai to Delhi. We have just went from Mumbai to, say for example, Ahmedabad, right? This was very small, isn't it? This is very small. The range was very long. This is the whole high to low. This was very long. Understood? So this is the thing. And how trading range and trading movement differ, and how it changes the supply, how it tells you the supply and demand dynamics, that also I'm going to tell you. So this person, this outstanding person, this god of the markets, he is also called the god of the markets, and he lived in an era of 1700s. 1700s is like absolutely when there was no technology, there was no nothing. If you wanted to learn something, you had to go to actual physicists, right? So today you won't be sitting on this, on whatever device you have, and listening to me directly. You would have to come to me first, and then convince me first in order to learn all this, right? So how convenient we have become, and how convenient today's systems have become, we have to applaud this person. First of all, a very big applause for Munay Sahoma, that he created such outstanding concepts, such unbelievable concepts that actually work today after 300, 400 years, right? He was 17 for 24. He started his career in 52, I suppose, and then he passed away in 1803, right? So such an outstanding person. He is also dubbed, he is also called god of the markets. And what did he do? Why is he called god of the markets? He founded the candlestick charts, and he's supposed to be taken as, he's also understood as the most profitable trader of all times, right? He was a rice trader of Japan, right? Now if you know a little bit of history of Japan, you would know that Japanese people were constantly fighting, right? They were infighting within themselves. So there were a lot of small shogunates, small kingdoms, right? But while he was born, before 50 years, I suppose 1658, there was someone called Tokugama, if I'm not wrong, if the pronunciation is not wrong. His name was Tokugama. He established the whole Japan as a particular single empire, right? What this facilitated was, it changed the whole system. It uniformed. He made the markets uniform. He made the you know feudal system uniform. He made the uniform system of measuring, right? And currency was made uniform, right? So a person from Osaka, say for example, a person from Mumbai buys the same amount of grains or rice on the same currency as the Mumbai person, even if that person is living in Delhi. That was the major thing that happened before his birth. And that is why it facilitated him to make candlestick charts. Markets were free flowing at that time. Okay. In fact, there were exchanges built. There was Osaka exchange, there was Dojima exchange, there was Edo exchange, right? So multiple exchanges were available too at that time in 1700s, in 1800s, right? So he not only made the candlestick charts, but he also devised candlestick patterns. He also told people that when certain type of candle is going to be formed, then this is going to be the further movement. This is how smart he was. and it is just unbelievable because 1700 is like nothing. It is so long back. 1700 is almost in India, I suppose. Nothing was happening on a technological level. Not to say anything wrong, but technological, the market level, right? The markets were not free flowing at that time in India, or say for any other example, say any other country. So he made up these candlestick charts and Japanese candlestick patterns. He told people that certain candlestick patterns, if formed, then the future movement would also be this way. He wrote books as well, right? And above that, he made this outstanding chart called Heikinashi. Okay, Heikinashi is a very advanced chart. Uh, Now I have, for reference, I've put in this candlestick chart, and this candle. This is the Heikinashi chart. This is the same movement, same daily, I suppose. Yes, same daily movements, but Heikinashi and the candlestick. Now look at the Heikinashi, how organized it is. Right here we see red green, red green. So much choppy, right? So much indecisive. You cannot look at it and judge what is going to happen. But Heikinashi, look at Heikinashi. Green, red. All the swings are almost the same color, right? This was also founded by this guy. So I suppose we need to applaud him, to be honest, and to understand his understanding. First of all, understand what he understood. Yes, absolutely. Uh, so first of all, understand what he understood. That is a big thing for us, right? Now, just give me a moment. Yeah. So this was the person Munai Sama. He devised the candlestick charts. He developed the candlestick patterns, and he also founded the Heikinashi charts and trading according to the Heikinashi as well. Okay. Coming back to the candlestick patterns are very simple, but right. If I'm going to teach you right now, this is going to be a hammer, this is going to be inverted hammer, this is that, this is this, right? You will remember it and you will say that I got it, right? But when you want to apply that, when you want to find actual hammer, then that is a great struggle, right? So you need to go back to what you learned multiple times in order to understand one particular candlestick pattern. Although I will try my best to give you a very logical understanding. That logical understanding will be there with you if you are a person, if you are a human being. It will be there with you for a very long time. So don't worry about it. I've got you covered, right? So yeah. So then, what we can do is we can categorize candlestick patterns based on the trend, what they are going to do with the trend, right? So there is a bullish continuation, there is a bearish continuation, there is a bullish reversal and bearish reversal. What does all these mean? We will see in the future. Bullish continuation basically means that if the price is moving up, right, and there is one candle that is being formed, right, that means it is going to continue being bullish. Same thing you can apply to the bearish continuation. If the price is moving down, if the market is bearish and there is a candle that is being formed, so what does that candle suggest is it will go continue. The bearish movement will continue. So that is called a bearish continuation. Okay. Then there is a bullish reversal. Now what is bullish reversal? Basically a bottom reversal. When the price are bearish, when the price is bearish, the trend is bearish, and there is a candlestick being formed, it suggests you that the price is going to reverse from there, right? So that means that is a bullish reversal. The price is going to get converted into a bullish trend. That is what a bullish reversal. Accordingly, you can say the same thing about bearish reversal. Correct? Yes. The next thing which you can categorize candlestick patterns into is upon the number of candles involved in the pattern. So, how many candles are involved? Say one candle is involved, a single candle is telling us something, then it is a single candlestick pattern, right? Next, if two candles are involved, like engulfing pattern, like piercing pattern, dark cloud cover, etc., that is a double candlestick pattern. Understood? Then there is a triple candlestick also possible, right? Three black crows, advancing soldiers, etc., etc. Three candlestick patterns are required. Evening star, morning star, that is also triple candlestick pattern. More than that, multi candlestick pattern. If more than three candlestick patterns are involved in forming a single pattern, then there is multiple candlestick involved, right? So there are certain candlestick patterns which are multiple as well, which involve multiple candlesticks as well. That is very important. So example of it is cradle pattern, J hook pattern, etc. etc. But these all we are not going to cover today. Double, triple, and multi. Okay, we are just going to look at the single candlestick pattern. Why, sir? Because the time, we are short on time. First of all, another thing is, if you don't understand single candlestick pattern really well, like this single candlestick pattern as if you know your friend, childhood friend, that's how well you have to learn, and that's how well you have to know about the single candlestick pattern. Then only you can devise and learn other patterns, right? Because these candlestick single wala candlestick pattern is going to get repeated in a form or other in double and triple and multi, right? So if I say a cradle pattern, then there are going to be dojis, spinning tops. If you don't understand spinning tops, what is the method? What is the use of looking at the multiple candlestick pattern? Understood. So we are going to go through single candlestick. These are also very huge, to be very honest, very big. I don't suppose we can cover it today itself, but I will try my best. It is almost 6, 8, 10, right? No worries. We will try our best. We will understand it. So the first outstanding candlestick pattern is a doji, right? Now doji itself, now Japanese people are so simplistically intelligent. They are so intelligent that they keep things very simple. Okay. Now if they say doji, doji means a blunder. Okay, just give me a moment. This is going to be very exciting. Okay, so just be bear with me right now. So yeah, doji is something which means a blunder, right? Japanese people, if they look at a candle like this in the market, they will say, oh my god, there's a blunder here, there's a problem here, very big problem, what we will do, right? They will panic. Not exactly, they know how to handle a doji, isn't it? So what is a doji exactly? This means that open is usually equal to the closing price, right? Like there is no real body. What does this suggest? There is no real body. Okay, simple as that. But the trading range can be there. Understood. If the trading range is not there, then the doji becomes a circuit. What is circuit? uh, it is only a real body, there is no wicks. Okay, that is called a circuit. That means no trading happened whatsoever, or trading happened only at that price, but that too doesn't make sense, right? So next is, this is an indecision candle. Okay, what does that mean, sir? Indecision candle means the market cannot decide whether to go up or down, isn't it? Now that is why this point of mass psychology took place. Okay. Now this Muna Isa Homa was so smart, was so intelligent that he understood the mass psychology just by looking at the candlestick. And that is what is happening here, isn't it? He's telling us that the market is in a indecision mode. The market cannot decide what to do, right? So at this point, you will also decide what to do, not to do. Do nothing. Okay. This is the place where you decide nothing is going to happen. We have to wait. Looking at a doji, many people think a reversal is going to happen and they take a trade as soon as they see a doji. But that is not the good way to go around. Okay. This is a very crucial point of understanding dojis, because what people understand of doji is that a reversal is going to happen now if a doji has been formed. But that is a wrong learning. You remove that learning from your dictionary, from your brain. You erase that, right? So what does this mean? That it can prove meaningful if it comes after a trend and suggests that a reversal is around the corner. It may suggest that a reversal is about to happen. is about to happen. Remember my words literally, I would say, right? So there might be a case in which you would say that a reversal is going to happen, but it will take time. Okay, we need confirmations, right? Just because of this doji, we cannot say, okay, the price is going to reverse, right? Now, if you look at this doji here, you will see that this is a very bold thing, right? The real body is almost looking like it has a body, right? It has a body. Now, this looks very simple, very plain. Open is equal to close. But this looks as if there is some movement, right? Now, there are some people who call this doji, even if there is a 2 3 5 pips difference, very small difference, right? But it creates a candle like this. There is difference between the open and close price. You might term it as a doji, might, okay, depending upon the asset in which you're working, right? So if it is gold, then like $1 difference would create a doji, right? But if it is like very small working phase, like it is euro USD, then 2 3 pips difference is going to create a good body, right? So you cannot term it as a doji. Then what it you can term it as is, you can term it as a spinning top. I will show you it. This spinning tops, right? They are almost like dojis. They are almost indecision candles. Nobody knows what is going to happen, but they help you in some manner. I will tell you how it will help you. Before that, we will continue with this. Now, you will also see these type of dojis in other patterns. That is why to understand doji, to get the real understanding of doji is very important. What kind of patterns will we see dojis in, sir? What do you suggest? What kind of patterns are we going to see? So there might be some pattern called cradle pattern, or J hook pattern, or abandoned baby pattern. Abandoned doji is also a very good, reversal, very good reversal point. Abandoned baby, etc. And in basing candles, what is the basing candles? I've already taught you, I suppose. It happens in the consolidation phase. No worries, I will. In the future, I will teach you what is basing. Another part is that the color of the doji candle doesn't matter. Now, even if you see that there is no difference between open and close, then also the terminal has given some color to the doji. Okay, don't worry about the color of the doji because it is an indecision whatsoever. Understood? Now, I want to see some of your comments. If you are understanding it, put down your comments. If you have understood it, I want it to be very dynamic. And you guys are very lacking energy. Come on, this is outstanding. Okay, doji is outstanding. Just to understand doji is very important. Just put in your comments if somebody has any doubts or something like that. If you understood it, okay. I'll keep on checking your comment box. Okay, I'm not going to leave you guys. You guys are sleeping, I suppose. Yeah, don't sleep. Okay. So the next type of doji is very important doji, gravestone doji. Now I told you obviously that Japanese people are very simple people. They keep everything very simple. Now, have you seen any Christian cemetery? Right. So what do they have for their like graves? There is a grave like this. There is a grave, and there is a gravestone above that grave, isn't it? Doesn't it look like a gravestone here? If I draw a circular around here, write RIP on this, rest in peace, wouldn't it look like a gravestone? Right? So simple to remember, right? So simple to remember. This particular candle as it is a doji, has no real body, which means open is equal to close, or almost a 2 3 pips difference according to the instrument. 2 3 pips difference, a very small difference in open and close prices, and a very good high upper wick. This is called the upper wick, upper shadow, right? It is also called long upper shadow, right? But this is not exactly long the terminology to be used. The gravestone doji is the correct terminology to be used. Okay, so this is a gravestone doji. What happens is, if this comes anywhere in the trend, in anywhere in the price, what happens is the market reverses into a bearish trend, right? The price goes downwards. Now, if it occurs in a downtrend, If the downtrend is continuing and this particular thing happens, gravestone doji, the price may continue going down. Right? So this is what is going to happen. What does it suggest? Where is the mass psychology in this? The mass psychology is that there is a very high strong resistance at this point. At the high point, there is a very, very strong resistance. So even if it comes in a downtrend, in the next candle, if that candle breaches this high, you can long. Okay. No, you cannot long. You cannot. You have to wait for confirmations. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to confuse you a little bit for those who are sleeping right now. Yeah. Yes. So everybody is feeling like good. So I'm also feeling good. Nice. So you have to wait for confirmations in case of these kind of dojis. I already told you this is almost an indecision candle. But gravestone doji is a very powerful candle. Huh? When it occurs in an uptrend, you must know that price is going to reverse. You wait for candle to form and then you short. Right? This is what you have to do with gravestone doji. Very strong candle. Even if it is a single candle, very strong candle. Okay. There is a slight variation that I will show you, which is the dragonfly doji, isn't it? Now, isn't this exact opposite the mirror image of this particular thing, right? It does appear like a mirror image. Yes, yes or no? Quickly, isn't it? Yes or no? Come on. This does look like a mirror image of gravestone doji. It is called a dragonfly doji, right? Now, what is a dragonfly, sir? You have seen a dragonfly, right? Kind of an insect which flies, right? So dragonfly, they have named it. I like to call it a rocket doji, isn't it? Now you will understand by the word itself what it is going to do to the price, right? Now once this comes in anywhere in the market, anywhere in the process of price action, you will be sure that if it is a downtrend, there is going to be a reversal. There is going to be a bullish reversal, and if there is a uptrend, there might be a continuation. The rocket doji is very, very important. It's very strong as well. Okay. And it must not have an upper wick. If it has an upper wick, then it is an indecision candle. Then it becomes a doji. Right? If it has an upper wick, it becomes a doji. There is no use of that thing. Where is the mass psychology, sir, in this particular thing? What does Muna Isa Huma told us in this particular thing? What did Munaisa Homa told us about the psychology, the interaction of the supply and demand? The supply and demand was that this particular place, as in the case of Gravestone Doji, this was a very strong resistance. This is a very strong support, this low level. You know what happened during the formation of this doji? The price opened here and the price went nowhere but down. Understood? This is what has happened. Even if it is for 1 minute candle, even if it is forming in the 1 minute time frame, that also means that open has happened and it has went nowhere but down. Right? It went down because there is a trading movement here, na? There is the trading range here, right? So what has happened, sir? This has went down, but there is no real body. What does this suggest? That once the price hit this particular level, a lot of orders flew in, right? Buy orders flew in, and it moved the price up again. Understood? What is happening? This is a very strong support level, na? Then understood. This is what is happening. Same is happening in here, Gravestone Doji. Now open is here. The price went nowhere but up, right? The price went all the way up to this point, right? And then short selling happened. Short selling happened in such a manner that it went nowhere but it down. It covered itself. It covered all the gains and it went all the way back to the opening price, isn't it? It went all the way back to the opening price. This is what has happened. Understood? Similar thing, Dragonfly Doji, the same thing happened. Support came in, a lot of buyers came in, and they pushed the price back to the open level. Right? This is a very strong candle, Dragonfly. Next, we will move on to Marubozu. Okay, Marubozus are the exact opposite of doji. Okay, dojis are strong indecision candles. Nobody can take a decision looking at the doji, and that is why Japanese people call it as a blunder. You remember the meaning of doji, right? It is a blunder. They didn't expect such a blunder to happen. Open is equal to close. There is nothing that happened. The market was so cold, nothing happened. Right? They call it as a blunder. Now, Marubozu, on the other hand, is extremely strong decision candle. Right? It is rare also. It is very rare. Marubozu, especially in the shorter time, especially in the longer time frames. A Marubozu to form, like I will show you. Wait a second. I showed you that Marubozu occurred in one of the things that we discussed previously. Uh, yeah, just as we discussed USD JPY, the same thing happened here. Now the breakout candle, if you will see this candle, breakdown candle, see, okay, look at the candle and tell me whether this is a Marubozu or not. Tell me if it is a Maru. Isn't this a Marubozu? Yes or no? I have kind of zoomed in for you guys. There is a small, very small upper wick, very small lower wick. I will term it as a Marubozu. I will make that exception, won't I? I will make that exception, isn't it? And this exception has worked beautifully well for me. Wait a second, just clean this up. Yeah, this exception has worked wonders for me. I've shorted here somewhere at this point, open of the next candle. Now, Marubozu is a very strong candle. Looking at this candle only, I will short the next day. I shorted at the open price itself, all logged in my pending order somewhere here, right? So let's just put in something called a short position. Looking at a Marubozu is a dream come true for any trader, right? You will place somewhere here the number of like number of stop loss. You can keep it somewhere above the trend line. Somehow it is not going to go over the trend line again, as it has happened. It was evident here that stop loss never got hit, right? Even today, if you would have run this trade, the stop loss never got hit. What happened is the price moved down. We got almost 1.42, like twice the amount we risked. Good enough trade for me, yeah. I will take this trade any day, right? And what is the pips difference? 184. So almost this range I have made, 134,251 to 131, 300 pips in USD JPY. It is outstanding. I will cover my trade. Now, the important thing to note about candlestick pattern is that they don't tell you where the support and levels are there. Okay, they don't tell you support and resistance levels. Okay, so you have to decide upon your own discretion your risk to reward ratio and accordingly trade. Right, this is how you trade using candlestick pattern. They don't tell you the support and kitna denge bhai, how much they will give, right? Will they give you a foolproof method of making money? If it would have been a foolproof method of giving money, then everybody would have been a billionaire, isn't it? So this is the case. You have to be very, very smart with your trading, right? If I'm keeping it just above the trend line, there is also a reason behind that. The price never got stopped. The trade never got stopped. Even if it went and retraced back into this position, it never went back to this trend line, right? So this is the way you have to understand things. This is a perfect Marubozu. If you look at this, it is a perfect Marubozu. Now, stop sharing. So, okay. Now we are moving back again into the game that we were playing. Very beautiful game that we were playing. Yes, 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 yes. I have come back. Really sorry, there was a technical issue. No worries, we are here. Everything is fine. So we will get back to our outstanding learning today. Yeah, we were here, I suppose. Yes, we did the Marubozu. These have only real bodies, no wings. Like traditionally, conventionally speaking, we must not have any wicks, right? But as I showed you guys, that according to the size of the candle, you can ignore small wicks, right? If the candle itself is of 80 100 pips and you ignore 5 to 10 pips up and down wicks, then that is fine, isn't it? If the candle is so huge, then you can ignore wicks, but you cannot ignore visible wicks. Very good amount of wicks. You have to take into account that, and you have to cancel understanding that particular thing as a marubozu, right? Marubozu, the word's meaning is a finely cropped, very properly cropped thing, right? Properly cropped. Like if you will crop bamboo, you will see bamboo as this thing. There will be no wicks, there will be no threads or something like that. There will be no stem lurking from here. There will be only bamboo, right? That is a properly cropped thing, right? Properly cropped candlestick. There is no wicks at all. These are very strong candles. These are both reversal and continuation. I told you, right? There are two types of thing, like continuation and reversal. Marubozus are both. Depends upon the trend in which they occur. Now, if there is an uptrend and there is a red Marubozu, what does this suggest? Anyone on the comment box? Quickly comment box. If there is an uptrend and this red Marubozu occurs, right? What will happen? Anyone who has understood anything from this particular live stream, you will get to know about this. You will easily decode it. As it is a very strong bearish signal, na? What will happen? Yes, selling will come. It is an uptrend. It will reverse, na? That red candle will reverse everything. Okay, people will panic. There is a Marubozu instead here. They will sell, obviously. Now I will try to ask it in another manner. Bearish, okay. If there is a downtrend, listen very carefully. If there is a downtrend already and a red candlestick occurs, red Marubozu occurs. Okay, sell moment. Okay, okay. Understood. Now listen to this another question. If there is a downtrend, if the downtrend is continuing, it is continuing. Okay, downtrend is going on, right? And there is a red Marubozu. What will you do in that case? I told you, na, Marubozu is both a continuation as well as a reversal pattern. What does this mean? What will happen? If there is a downtrend happening already and there is a red Marubozu, what will happen? Quickly put in here. Put in your short answers. Reverse. There is already a downtrend happening, and there is a red Marubozu. Listen to the question very carefully. If there is a downtrend, okay, we will wait as upward momentum will occur. No, absolutely not. Continuation will occur, na? Understood? This is the thing you have to understand. This is the very simplistic things take a lot of time to understand and absorb, right? A lot of time to digest all these things. Nothing will happen. The continuation will happen. The bearish trend will continue going down. The price will continue going down. That is why it is a continuation as well as it is a reversal pattern. Okay, depending upon the trend it occurred in. Understood? Similar things for green candlestick, you can devise that upon your own, right? If it is an uptrend and green Maru Gozu, quickly, yeah, I want your answers quickly. Only few people are answering. Green candlestick, green Maru Gozu is there. Okay, take that example. So if there is a downtrend, right? There is a downtrend. You can understand that downtrend. If the prices are going down and then you see suddenly that a green Maru Gozu occurs, what will you do in that case? What will you do in the case where there is a downtrend and you see a green Marubozu? Very strong green Marubozu. What will you do? What will you do? What will happen in that case? Tell me quickly. Come on, put it. We are already above time, right? Buy, right? Good job. Very good job. We will buy. Absolutely, we will buy, isn't it? But in the case that the uptrend is continuing, the price is moving up, and there is a green Marubozu, what will you do in that case? Again, you will long. Understood? This is the way you have to understand these things. Okay. Simplistic yet very effective. Right? I've seen people only trade using candlestick. They are very patient. They wait in, yes, buy. Okay. They wait every single day, they wait every single moment just to look at one of the candlestick patterns being formed. And they actually make profits, right? So make your quality of the trading better, okay, by using a multiplicity of this particular types of strategies, right? If you are using MACD, then there are times where MACD will betray you. There are times where RSI will betray you. There are times where even candlestick patterns will betray you, right? What you have to do is a mixture of all these things, right? But when you see such strong candles, Marubozus, when you see such gravestone doji, when you see a rocket doji is also called dragonfly doji, right? So when you see all these things, you get an at a very strong and very early signal that something is going to happen. I have to be keeping an eye on this particular instrument, right? On this asset, on gold, etc., etc., whatever it is being formed in, right? So this is the way you have to understand things. You're already above 5 minutes, right? So this is here we wrap up. We have got multiple other candlesticks also. So we will take it up in the next particular live stream, right? We will take it up in the next live stream. And I thank you guys for joining in and being here, learning, right? And I suppose this was exciting for you. This was very small. Yes, somebody might complain, guys, sir, only Doji and Maribozu. I already knew it. But this way of understanding Marubozu, this way of understanding Dojis, I believe would be a new experience for you guys. So thank you very much for joining in. And yeah, happy trading. Thank you very much. Okay. Goodbye. Take care.